Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW3 historical battlefield today, and this is a glorious one as we recreate the Battle of Eckmühl, which was fought in 1809 between France, Bavaria and Württemberg against Austria. Obviously this is part of the 1809 campaign as Napoleon re-engages with the Austrian armies after a little bit of a ceasefire. He decides, you know what, I'm going to go to war once again with them. And obviously at battles like Wagram, you have Aspel and Essling, but you also have this one, the Battle of Eckmühl. Fought in Bavaria, and it was a massive victory for the French. I mean, the Austrians did outnumber the French ever so slightly, but the French did manage to inflict 10,000 casualties to a mere 3,000 of their own. And yes, this is a 4v4 NTW3 battle that we have here. We have one Lands Corps, I believe, and then we have two Davout, and then we have Van Damme, who is representing the Württemberg forces. So we've got some German allies here in this one. Just to make it kind of interesting, that's for sure. Maybe give the Austrians a little bit more of an even match, but we do have 4 Austrian armies awaiting them. And the objective of the Battle of Eckmühl is for the French to manage to get across this crossing over here, and also manage to, I believe they also have to take one of the villages over here. So this one here, which is called Unterleichhang. I don't know how to say that word, but there you go. That's what we're going to go with. This village here that they have to take, I believe. And there are more Austrian armies on the way, I believe, coming down this road. But yeah, one of the armies did spawn here and start in this village. So they should be well dug in. And the French have got a pretty considerable force on the way. Davout and Lands especially can bring huge armies, usually. But yes, if you're enjoying seeing NTW3 on the channel and would like to see some more historical battles, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment showing support. I'm trying to like burn through these NTW3 historical battles, the ones I have for 9.1 before I move on to 9.2, which I already have a plethora of historical battles for that as well. But yeah, there's some that have been really recommended that I should do before moving on to the next update, which obviously I'll move on to as soon as possible. But yes, as you can see here, Davout moving in force, going through this forest, trying to stay hidden, and trying to outflank this Austrian army here, which is not a bad idea. Well, I believe this is another Davout army here. Basically, it's going to just go straight on in along with Baden by the looks of it, and then it looks like, oh, we've already had a bit of a cavalry fight over here, which has seen Baden lose here. We've got some light cavalry, some Jaeger cavalry losing to, looks like maybe some dragoons, no, some hussars in fact. And we saw in the, I believe in one of the previous battles, and we saw the hussars do very, very well for Austria. But yes, I can't remember exactly which one that was now. It's been a little while. I've done a lot of historical battles and they're all starting to merge together now. But I believe it was one of the ones against Austria. They did incredibly well. But yes, you can see here Baden actually sending out some troops. These guys can't form square, by the way, and Baden's just sending these guys out just to get possibly murdered by Austrian cav. We have the French here with some provisional infantry. They are just gonna duel with the Austrians across the pond here, as you can say, and we've got the French actually flanking around. They found a way across. I don't know where exactly that was. Maybe further downstream here. They have actually got infantry coming across. Got just 3 units of line infantry. Can they all form square? They can, so they should be okay from cavalry if they run into that problem. But the Austrians here already dueling on some German infantry. Dueling. I believe it was the Battle of Znaim actually that we saw the Austrians really excel with their cavalry. I believe it was that one. Just reminded me. I could remember now. It's like that's the last one that we did quite a lot of. Saw a lot of cavalry charges, and here is a cavalry charge. Those hussars coming in once again, and they're taking out Baden's cannons here. 6 pounder being taken out. I mean, Baden's got a lot of infantry here. Not Baden, Württemberg, I should say, not Baden. I mean, it's technically like Baden and Württemberg, I guess, but yes, Württemberg, I should say. They had a lot of infantry there, and they kind of just gunned some of them down, but clearly the accuracy's not that great because the cavalry are there alive. Very effective. But now they're out without guns. I believe that's all Württemberg's artillery. They only brought one, and it's been taken out. You've got Dominic Van Damme here, who's the French commander. He's leading this Württemberg corps, and he's probably like, shameful display, men. The Frenchmen would have gunned those cavalry down before the guns even were under threat. Something like that. That's all I imagine. We've got some grenadiers here. Let's see what Württemberg grenadiers are like. I'm going to keep calling them Baden, I can already tell. But you know what I mean. If I mean Baden, I mean Württemberg. And like I said, they are kind of the same thing. But they do look kind of cool. They've got pink on them. bit of pink and dark blue going on. Anyway, more cavalry fighting going on over here. Looks like we've got another fight that the French are going to lose here. We've got some hussars losing against this like Austrian hussars as well. And there you go. The French losing these cavalry fights early on. Austria usually does excel in the cavalry fights recently. So we are back, and unfortunately the replay did crash, so I've got it back sort of where we were leaving off, and we have seen that cavalry charge go off in the background. The French cavalry, those hussars were routed by the Austrian counterparts of their own hussars. We now have artillery up here on a really good position for the Austrians here. They're just shelling down. I mean, they're actually only shelling one little line infantry here of Wettenberg. Those poor guys are getting absolutely pounded. As we know, the Wettenberg has lost its own artillery, so it cannot respond. So, to be honest, Wettenberg is probably going to have to be pushing forward at some point. Or they're just going to have to sit here and try and just take the pounding. And just try, or maybe try and hide. Maybe hide in this village and then reappear once the French on this side have possibly turned the Austrian flank. But as you can see out here, I was paying attention. The Austrians have actually got infantry and cavalry, as we're about to see a cavalry charge here. We've got some dragoons or some chevaliers. No, it looks like chevaliers here coming in. And they're going to rout this little chasseur cheval here, which is going to go straight off the red line. It's trying to get out of there. There you go. It's gone just like that. But yeah, there's chevaliers here, and there was an infantry unit, which I can no longer see anyway. Oh, but I mean, you can see line infantry here, and this is part of the same force, I believe. Oh, these guys are pretty cool. These guys look like, I think they're the Archduke Charles like unit that you can get, certainly in vanilla, and they've obviously done like their own variant for NTW3. But yeah, they look good, and this is also going to be a big problem for the French as well, because the French here are now going to have to turn and face this new Austrian threat. And I've been told anyway, this battle comes down to the last 3 units for the French. So it's an incredibly close one, that is for sure. And it's definitely worth sticking around to see how this one goes down. That is 100% for sure. So make sure you get some snacks, some drinks, and prepare for yourself for some glorious Napoleonic action. As you can see here, we've got lots of line infantry setting up. But it seems like a lot of infantry for this Davout corps to be taking on. I mean, Davout's got a lot of infantry, but he's not got that much infantry. There's a lot of Austrian troops here set out in front of him, and they're all in a bit of a crescent formation, as you can see. So if the French go in and attack one spot, they're going to get shot on from multiple sides, unless they can push up their other fronts. They've got some pretty good cavalry still in reserve. Got hussars, got some more of those chasseurs cheval. I have also seen somewhere more chasseurs cheval. We've got a Jaeger cav here. There is also somewhere, if I can remember, hidden, yeah, right at the back here, we have cuirassiers, and these cuirassiers can do very well. We've got some chasseurs cheval there as well. But these guys here, these are the main threat for the French army now. You imagine these cuirassiers could do a lot of work if they want to. But let's go back over to the far side. Let's see what is going on. And it seems as though the French have got across the water very, very easily. They seem to have pushed across, taken the crossing, and are now pushing onto the Austrian flank here. And this might be where the French can make things happen. They can push the Austrians here. They didn't seem like they've got a full army here. They seem to have like parts of an army set up, and you can see more Austrians now going in this direction. More German infantry being sent in that direction. And we've got Austrian guns as well being put up here. Lots of guns. This is a 4-gun unit being put in here. These guys are going to pound the French lines as they get ever closer. And to be fair, they are getting pretty close right now. Laguerre here is in danger of routing if he's not too careful. Got more line infantry over here, just trying to keep the cavalry at bay. They need to make sure these units can form square. And they need to also protect their general. You've got Lands down there, he needs to be protected. And the guns as well, they need to keep cavalry in reserve. We've got some cuirassiers here as well. And we've got the cousins of the Emperor. We've got the Trillier unit here. This is a very good unit if I remember correctly. This is like a Corsican-like unit. Corsican Trilliers. They're very, very good. Our general is under attack. But yes, it does seem as though the line battle is getting underway over here. The French as well, and the Austrians starting to duke it out, and we're going to see who wins on this side. The center, obviously, here is going to be where it mainly goes down, and we will have to see for ourselves. Yeah, these Austrians here doing a bit. Yeah, the French, I mean, they've got the numbers as well, but Austria's known for its numbers in infantry, but not as quality. The French hopefully have the quality and the numbers with corps like Lannes and Davout here. But we will see. Yes, who do you think is going to win this time? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's going to be the French, or do you think it's going to be the Austrians? I think the French will recreate history, or do you think the Austrians could change history here today with a win? But we have got the Carabiniers here. It's like an elite light infantry unit. As you can see, they've got their bearskins on. They look a bit like they're old guard, but they're not quite old guard. They're just light infantry with some bearskin hats on. And you can see here the French really pushing hard, not allowing the Austrians to set up properly, which is really good. You can see they're really flanking hard here. These 3 Austrian units, we forced a retreat, maybe leaving these guns vulnerable to a charge. There is cavalry though back here that may be able to cover. And like I said, the Austrians just need to be patient and just maybe strike for these the guns when necessary. They got some we've got some grenadiers the line here. I'm presuming this building prepared, but I'm not sure. There needs to be more Austrian infantry arriving, but it's a bit of a risk. And you see more Jaeger cavalry being routed here. Werdenberg really having a rough time. This Werdenberg infantry really needs to get a volley off trying to rout this cavalry while it's low on morale. Werdenberg, though it has the numbers, it's not really got the quality, it seems. Hussars, they've routed. This time the French Hussars routed the Austrian Hussars. We've got to change that. But yeah, Werdenberg has a lot of troops because he's got a lot of infantry here, and they're going to be able to swing around, maybe get in between the 2 Austrian armies. But their cavalry just sucks, it seems. I mean, the cavalry they brought anyway sucks. Oh, and here we go. Austrian cav coming in. Austrian cav is being scared up by cuirassiers, but it's left this Austrian cav to be able to get up to Lanz. And Lanz here may be about to die. And this is a big, big loss. He has not died, but he is routed. He may return. 10 out of 16 might return from that. With a provisional infantry here, trying to slow down the Austrian cav, protect their general. They can get some shots off into the side of them. That will be very, very helpful right now, because this cavalry could be all sorts of problems. And you can see the cuirassiers back there. They are routing the Austrian cav, but they're also getting dragged away from the main fight. Now they need to retreat. They need to get back, try and protect Lanz in case if he returns 9 out of 16, he may return. The guns also have been lost. They've lost 6-pounders here. So this Austrian cav has also routed, but it also routed another infantry. And it's caused like a bit of a breakup in the French assault. As more infantry here gets routed, we've got some light infantry that just got routed by dragoons by the looks of it. Yeah, just like some Austrian dragoons. They did take the infantry out, but they did get it. And look at this. Look how close the Austrian guns are. They're like going to be firing canisters right now. Pounding the Werdenberg lines here as the Austrians get really up in their face. We've got Chasseurs, Cheval as well back here. They look like they just routed some Austrians. Yeah, it's all going on. A massive line fight right now going on across the line. It looks like the Austrians have lost out here with their cavalry. The dragoons, not dragoons, sorry, the cuirassiers beating, looks like the Chevaliers that were out here. We've got some Chasseurs Cheval. They need to be careful they don't just get shot in the square. Yeah, a lot of fighting going on here. And we've got a cavalry charge that took place here from the French. We've got some Chasseurs beaten back by the Chevaliers of the Austrians. We've got the Werdenberg player ready in square though. Hopefully he can put a volley or something into these cavalry. He has actually nearly routed them. One more volley might rout them. And they have been routed. There you go. Now Werdenberg here needs to push for the guns. He's just getting pounded in by the canister there. Really just needs to push hard. No slowing down. More Austrian cav charging in here. These are cuirassiers now of Austria. This is the heavy cav that they brought up. And that's hit hard into a provisional infantry unit that's just going to just go down. Absolutely. There's no chance of survival there. More infantry here being sent in. These guys can form square. Don't know if they did. But these Austrians need to get out of there. They are kind of failing to rout this infantry, which is a bit of a concern. Yeah, if the French can kill for a few volleys, kill a lot of this cuirassier, and that would also be a bit of a victory for them. But here we go, big bayonet charge coming in here. It looks like we've got just lots of line infantry rushing the German line infantry here. In they go. Not really the greatest bayonet charge in the world. And this is a lot of infantry for one, maybe 2 infantry units of Austria. This could actually see a lot of French units rout, let alone Austrian. But there you go, the Austrians did rout here, so the French may be able to carry on. But the Austrians, yeah, the Austrians are going to send in their cavalry. They're just going to send in the cavalry hordes, got more cuirassiers coming in. These guys need to form square, like ASAP. And here you go, Austria coming in with lots of dragoons here, and they're going to probably rout a lot of this French infantry. This is like 4 or 5 French units here. No, more than that, multiple. There's going to be like 8 or so. General has been killed though. We haven't seen a general just get killed. I'm not sure whose that was. but I'm going to say it was an Austrian general. But yeah, the French back here losing a couple of units here. We've seen Laguerre being broken. So we're going to see multiple light infantry units get broken. But this is not good. Not good at all. The French, after starting so well, they're sending in Grenadiers now. Grenadiers going into also trying to do this. This is just a massive mistake by the French. Why they really blobbed up like this to charge a bayonet, I do not know. But the Battle of Eckmühl is certainly not disappointing. We are seeing lots of glorious charges here. Lots of bayonet charges and cavalry charges. Big long line battles. It's got it all. See here the provisional Laguerre unit here.
Building has fallen to the enemy.
Still breaking more infantry. You got more. It looks like just Hungarians coming in. This is Hungarian Grenadiers coming in. They're going to charge the provisional infantry here. In they go in column formation. Will they be able to stop that? I mean, they are losing at these provisional infantry. And look at this. Seeing mass routes now going on. We're seeing the Grenadiers also slam into the backs of the French here. And you're going to see this entire French army here, I think, get routed. Doesn't help that this French army, by the way, lost land. I don't think he died. I think he just broke, but still massive loss. We're seeing even more Austrian cavalry on the way now. This is not a good sign. Like, France needs to have a victory somewhere soon because we're seeing an entire destruction of the French army here. Brutal bayonet fight. Grenadiers still fighting on. Could really have done with those Grenadiers of their own, which are all the way back in that fort, in the back of that house back there. But as you can see, more Grenadiers getting in, and they're just surrounding the French. And that's how you break units. You don't kill units in NTW3, you just try and break them. So surrounding them is the best way. Sending in cavalry is a good way. But they have taken this building here, though. Have the French. I'm not sure how. Maybe they just. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how they did. No, it seems like the Austrians are going to reoccupy it. There is Wettenberg troops in there as well, so that is something. But yeah, it seems like Austria is getting beaten back here a little bit by the French. It seems like they're having some progress, but the French also struggling in a few areas. Could they get these cuirassiers perhaps in behind, trying to do some rear charges on the Austrians, or at least try and force them to form square? That gives them, the French the advantage in the line fight. But yeah, France really pushing through here hard. The VU is doing a very good job where Lanz is lacking. VU is picking up and doing a really good job. I mean, Lanz is still alive. There's still some infantry here. He just seems like he sacrificed his entire right here just to allow his left to join up with Wettenberg. Seems a bit of a really just costly and wasteful use of his manpower. But Laguerre here being routed, some Trilliers as well here. Trilliers the Poe. This is a 200-man unit. Trilliers, we're just going to let them just get killed like this. Really just poor protection of his infantry, I feel like, in this instance by Lanz. Not doing a great job. So what we got back here, we got some chasseurs here trying to get in amongst the Austrian artillery, doing what they can, routing them. Just not allowing the Austrians to set up properly. We've got Wettenberg still marching up, still trying to do as much damage as possible. Division infantry still plodding along. And where's that cuirassier unit gone for the... oh, it's back there dead. I was about to say, where is that cuirassier unit for Lanz? They need them. They have been killed. You see here the Austrian dragoons running riot. They are running riot, and they're about to go into the back of Wettenberg here. Building lost. I don't know who that was by. Maybe it's that one? I'm not sure. Here we go. Into the back of the line infantry here. I thought this was Grenadiers, but no. In fact, no, but what building was lost then? Oh, it was this one, the one over here that had Lanz's Grenadiers in it. So it seems as though Austria's taken that, and they have now garrisoning it, and they've retaken the crossing, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Austria actually did lose this cavalry fight. Oh, the cavalry against the infantry here. Yes, they just charged into one too many units. Now we've got to charge down from Austria. These guys probably will break instantly. They're already on low morale. Fighting on, and there you go. Wettenberg already repulses them. Seeing more cavalry here. Who's this chasseur Cheval? They just got in, they snuck in. They're trying to take out artillery or something? I'm not sure. They're being chased by Chevaliers. So they should be routed, you imagine. Yeah, Austria over here is actually getting turned. As you can see, he's kind of being forced to turn. As you can see, this French right here starting to flank. And the Austrians having to retreat into the forest. And the cuirassiers still threatening. Austria's got men to deal with them at the moment. But yeah, the French over here having their own private fight with the Austrians. This might end up not being that major of a fight. It looks like the center here is where it's decided it's the French and Edinburgh continue to push forward. Austria is trying to repulse, trying to reset up. Again, we're seeing a lot of blobbing up here. This is just only going to cause more havoc for the for Edinburgh than it is for the Austrians. They need to spread out their units, pin down as many as possible, because big blobs just means more casualties when you fire a volley into them. Austrian dragoons here still look like they're trying to look for ways in. I don't know what's happened to the Austrian cuirassiers, but I presume they're still in the fight somewhere. Might be this unit back here, in fact. Yep, there they are, just waiting patiently in the wings. They've got more artillery setting up here, looks like. They're going to try and fire onto the French. Keep these guys alive. But yeah, it does seem as though Austria on this side is going to win. I mean, he's got these provisional infantry being pinned down here to the French by grenadiers. And this is not going to be a fair fight for the provisional grenadiers. These guys are like war recruits. That's what provisional basically is. War recruits that will be taken out by some of Austria's best troops. I believe Austrian grenadiers have been nerfed in 9.2. So this might be the last time we see Austrian grenadiers do extremely well. It's a shame, because I feel like Austria's grenadiers are kind of like the cream of the crop. Their infantry doesn't exactly do well. Here we go, we've got more Austrian infantry here. These guys got more like shakos. I don't know if it's like a... I think these are still German infantry or like Austrian infantry still. But it's just a different style of like helmet and uniform. But yeah, the French now having a line battle, continue this line battle here with the Austrians. We've got like the Archduke Charles unit here. I do like the look of this unit. It's a pretty looking unit. With the white and the brown, actually kind of go well together. Brown uniforms don't usually look that great, but you know what, with the white here and the bit of red, it looks okay. I can hear combat going on somewhere, but I'm not sure where that is exactly. But as you can see, we look at the mini-map, it seems as though the French sort of have the numbers, but it's hard to say because the Austrians obviously can hide stuff. We can see all the French stuff coming in from their perspective. But it's close, that is for sure. It seems as though the French are being scared back. This cuirassier, even though it's had a bit of joy in behind, is now being forced back to its own lines. Austria, though, is still here, duking it out with the French provisional infantry here, trying to do their best. That seems to be the issue with the French infantry. They seem to bring a lot of provisional stuff, which A, can't form square, and also just isn't as good.
Our men are running, sir.
I like the officer just firing off his one random shot. The French just digging in here, doing their bit. As we go along this line, a long, long line here of French infantry. They're duking it out with the Austrians. Yeah, the Austrian army, though, it seems by 1809 is in pretty good condition. It's certainly improved from the time of Austerlitz. I believe that Archduke Charles was in fact the main guy that reformed the Austrian army, and massively improved. As you can see, Aspern and Essling, they sort of got a draw, if it's sort of an Austrian victory there. Oh, big charge here. We've got the cuirassiers forward and grenadiers. French and Edinburgh troops are routing here. This is not a good sign. It looks like Austria, at the moment, might be about to change the course of history here in today's battle. Yeah, with Archduke Charles's reforms, they certainly did improve, but they weren't still at the match of the French, who still beat them at battles like Wagram and obviously Eckmühl as well. But it was a bit not as decisive, you could say. Certainly Wagram and Aspern, they were hard-fought battles for the French. Yeah, setting out this one might be a hard-fought battle for the French as well, even though it wasn't really in history. But yeah, the French being routed over here. We've actually got Edinburgh sending over a few troops. He really should just pull these guys back. Yeah, same with these the cousins of the Emperor. Get these boys back. I'm sure Napoleon does not want to lose this many cousins. I'm sure they're not always genetically his cousins, but there you go. They've routed. Shameful display. These guys usually fight on quite a while as well, to the last few men. So that's a shame to see them break early. Yeah, you can see the final few units they break retreating. Not breaking, just advancing in the wrong direction. Grenadiers being sent back. They might need them. We've got some Austrian dragoons just wandering around in the back lines as well. France is keeping an eye on them. We've got some artillery still moving up. 12-pounders to be precise. It's a huge 12-pounder artillery piece. It's got 5 guns here. This thing can probably pound everything. But the Chasseurs Cheval here trying to challenge the Austrian infantry. We've still got more fighting going on here. So the Austrian infantry tries to break the French squares. It seems like they're unsuccessfully doing so at the moment. The French hold on. These cuirassiers still trying to also break through. But it's not looking good for the French personally. I think the Austrians have the high ground, which, as you know from Star Wars, always want the high ground. Personally, I think they're doing a really good job, but the Austrians have held on to the good positions. These Carabiniers, Laguerre here. This is like I said, the elite light infantry. That's been broken now by a mix of infantry and cavalry. And Austrians actually appearing in the back here of the French to maybe able to threaten this 12-pounder.
Our men are running first.
I feel like the French hopes are going to rely on this army over here to actually defeat the Austrians pretty soon here, and then move over to support their allies because they are needing it. Certainly Baden-Württemberg and France here are having a rough time. The cavalry down here looks like it's fighting a light infantry that's not in square. They could form square. Maybe they just don't have enough men to do so. But you imagine this infantry will be routed then. There you go. It's a tough fight there. It's a tough sight for French eyes, that's for sure. We've got the... Oh, this is not looking good here. More infantry was broken. I think they were trying to go for the general here. Maybe go for Van Damme with this dragoon unit. But the grenadier unit here has managed to shoot down the cavalry as it comes by. And it's kept them at bay. So really well done there by the grenadiers. So it looks like we're about to see more grenadiers go forward. And they're going to go in and take on this building here. They're going to just rush on by. Württemberg is allowing this to happen. Got like a little light infantry unit there. Just stood and just watched as these grenadiers ran past them. Just blindly. Just like, yep, it's fine, don't worry. We'll let it happen. But you imagine, I think the numbers were with the Austrians in combat and winning decisively. I guess the Austrians have to rush in. They do get shot at. But it seems, I'd say that the Austrians are clearing out that building. So they hold the bottom layer. Yeah, they're up top now. See them in the windows. And there you go. The Austrians are taking the building back. As I thought they might. So yeah, building lost there. Is this one here. So they rehold this. I guess technically they rehold this village. Sort of. I mean, certainly they actually kind of do. Because the Austrians just flood in troops. You can see Württemberg's retreating with what he has left. It's just not enough. And Van Damme here is also getting focused down now. Don't know if he's actually dead. No, it doesn't look like he's dead yet. But he's not in a good place, that's for sure. You can see the French here being forced back. Not a good sign, not a good sign. You can see the... Where's the artillery? Oh no, it's still here. 12-pounders are trying to set up, but they are getting charged as well by Austrian infantry. What remains of the French infantry is trying to slow it down. We've got more line infantry in the back lines here. Trying to keep these Austrians at bay, so they need to rout this Austrian unit quickly so they can get back to the front and protect their artillery. There you go, they just about did it. Just about did it. I think this French unit is routing. I'm not sure. There was 2 units here, I thought, but maybe not. The guns here, look at this. They're firing point blank range. And they're getting rushed now by the Archduke Charles unit. Still firing, it looks like they're firing canister, and they have broken them. Luckily, the guns have just about survived, but it's a close one. It's been a close shave there. If they can get these guns that can stop pounding down the Austrian lines here, maybe they have a chance. Baden here seems to have rallied a little bit, and he's sort of evened up with his amount of troops against Austria. He just needs to stay away from this building. He needs to make sure he can protect himself from those cuirassiers. I start maybe thinking about forming square soon. Van Damme is still alive, just about by the skin of his teeth. Yeah, I certainly think about forming square. I don't know if this light infantry can actually form square, but it looks like it is about to get charged here by cuirassiers. They're just slowly walking forward. The men here just like, yep, this is fine. We'll hit him. Volley, man! Oh, yeah, we hit the front guy. Yeah, keep hitting them, boys. Keep hitting them. Those cuirasses can cause all sorts of problems. There you go, broken. I think they were exhausted. They're low on troops. They've been hit hard. Yeah, there you go, broken. They're not coming back. That's a big win there for the French. The French, by the way, still got their big cuirassier unit. And oh boys, this could be a huge play. 94 cuirassiers. And these guys, they could possibly run through a lot of these Austrian troops. Austria, not known for forming square in this game. Yeah, Austria's troops aren't as good as the French in some regards. They can't form square. And quality certainly comes down to things like forming square and morale. And forming square, obviously, very handy for protecting yourself from cavalry. Seems like over here we're seeing more trading in infantry. We've got some, looks like just some French line infantry being broken, but also some Austrian. Both sides, like I said, trading losses at the moment. Yeah, I mean, the Austrians have done a really good job. I mean, this player, even if he doesn't win, this player, he's done a really good job in pinning down an entire, like, French corps. Like, the Vuse corps here has been pinned down. I mean, stuck here the entire game fighting over this, it's a pretty irrelevant patch of the land. This is just, the French and the Austrians, like, don't need to hold this to win. I just thought the Austrians want to threaten this French flank so they can support their center, and they've done a really good job. The Austrians, very close to victory. I mean, I don't know what they've got left, but I mean, they're chasing down Baden now. They really want to try and chase down Baden. The France is obviously going to swing in. I believe, yeah, we still got Austrian grenadiers chilling in this building, though a lot of them are outside of it. So really how many are in there, I do not know. But the French are moving up onto this hill. Maybe they're going to just take position on this hill and then use it against the Austrians. We still have artillery back here. They might want to just set this artillery up. Looks like it's a howitzer, something like that. So this howitzer and just start shelling that cavalry. But yeah, battle is certainly starting to die down a little bit. I mean, it's still going pretty fiercely over here, so I guess we'll stay here. But I hope you guys have been enjoying. If you'd like to obviously take part in your, send in your own NTW3 battles, or take part in these scenarios, then feel free to join the Discord. The link's down below in the description. And you're all very, very much welcome. If you're a newbie, if you're a veteran, if you're even not even a fan of, like, playing battles in Total War, but you really enjoy the videos, feel free to join just to find out what else is going on in the channel. You're more than welcome to come stop by and take part in some of the great stuff that goes on in that community. But yeah, the French here doing a glorious job. The French uniform, I love the officer just firing his little pop gun. It's beautiful, it really is. But yeah, the French uniforms look glorious, they really do. Certainly like this 1809 period, I don't know what it is about it, it just looks really good. I hope we see a lot more 1814 French and maybe even like more 1813 stuff. Like, certainly need to like defense of France sort of era troops. And it looks like we actually seen some French just get routed here by the grenadiers. And so it seems like the Austrians aren't just out yet, but the French have managed with some light infantry to take this building. So it doesn't look like they're going to try and capture it, but this is, yeah, this building here, they just look like they're just going to leave it. There is still more Austrian infantry that's just appearing back here. So, like I said, we don't know exactly what the Austrians have got left, because we can't see it all. It does seem like it's a similar amount to the French, and I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure, that the Austrians have no more cabs. So this cuirassier here could be about to have free reign. And you can see it's setting up. Oh yeah, they're firing the howitzer on this. Yeah, the howitzer is really trying to hit this cuirassier unit. We have got some Hungarian, we got some Austrian grenadiers, and they are desperately trying to fire. Look at that, the volleys coming in. These, yeah, I mean, smart idea from these cuirassiers. They're at 90 men, and they're down to 83. They lost 7 in that one volley alone. Definitely not worth the charge. But it has also allowed Baden-Württemberg here to turn around, prepare to fire. And they're going to be stuck in an interesting position here. Are the cuirassiers? Here they go. They're going to go running in now. Either they charge. Like, oh, these guys can form square though. These Hungarians can form square. That's something at least. But yeah, I mean, the infantry here is going to just charge in, and the cuirassiers from the back are going to sandwich. And this should rout the Austrians, you imagine. Morale not looking good though for Baden either. Howitzers really doing as much damage as they can. Cuirass is down to 74 men. Need to keep an eye on that. I mean, they can fight to pretty low numbers. Their biggest worry, is probably their exhaustion. They don't want to get exhausted because then that's when, yeah, they're already very tired. These guys need to get away, relax for a little bit, just slow down, and then send them back in because you want them to be fresh so they can get a good charge. Oh, they've routed. Wow, look at that. 51 men they routed. They might return. They might return. But still, they got off a decent charge, broke a couple of units. We're actually seeing Van Damme charging here. That's how desperate it's got. They're going to try and charge in with Van Damme against a square of grenadiers. I don't know if this is a great idea. So you see artillery coming in, firing just into the big blobs on here. I mean, it's not a bad idea. There's only a tiny little grenadier unit here fighting against a mass of infantry and cavalry and a general. But there you go. Weddenberg just about managed to rout that unit. France sending over a couple of little units here to try and rout the Austrians. The Austrian general's still very much alive, being protected. The French over here looks like they're also going to just ignore this farmhouse and just try and take out the howitzer, maybe in the infantry around that. The French over here with the Austrians. It's close, put it like that. I think they're evenly matched in units. It's just the positioning now of like French and Austrian units. Who's going to get the flanking shots? Who's going to like be getting the 2v1s to try and rout units quicker? It's hard to say. Yeah, French units here firing through the undergrowth. I can't imagine this could be very like accurate. Like I can't imagine both sides are getting great kills. I don't know if foliage just really play a part in NTW3. Yeah, firing through this forest. Can't imagine many shots are actually connecting with the infantry. So we're seeing Austrian infantry here. They may have run out of ammo. They got sent forward. They died. They ran for their lives just then. But yeah, it seems, I think maybe the French have the numbers here now. Maybe. It's hard to say. I'll come back a moment later and the French will be mass routing or something. The 12 pounders over here still pounding away. We've got a general here coming in. So he's just helping to rout the remains of Weddenberg. Weddenberg's is on the retreat now. I mean, Weddenberg's had a really rough day, I think. That's all I can really describe it as. A really rough day. They've been a lot of cannon fodder, and they did a lot of charging into canister shots, which I can confirm is not good for your health. The French here juking and out with the last few of these Austrians. Neither side obviously wants to make a mistake at this point, we'll put it. Because both sides are very evenly matched. The French over here look like they're quite happy to shift troops to the centre. I don't know, I'd maybe just try and flank us hard here. It seems like the Austrian morale is not looking great in this left-hand side. I mean, they're actually breaking across the line, in fact, now. Not looking good. Austria, yeah, getting hit hard. This Austrian unit here, particularly, getting hit hard by 3 French units, and it's going to rout just like that. So this left-hand side for the Austrians has buckled. It seems like the continued French onslaught is just too much. I mean, the French have also had an onslaught. You can see the bodies down to both sides. This whole area is just littered with French and Austrian dead. See that the Austrians still holding onto this building. Seems like I think they're just shelling this building to try and force the Austrians out, which I think they have done. The Grenadiers are now outside the building here. And it seems as though we are going to see the French possibly get surrounded here. They need to be careful. Austrians are trying to cut off their escape. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Austrian units here trying to surround the French. And we've got a further 2 over here coming to combat this one Van Damme. I don't know where he's running, but you might want to just try and stay with these French units and try and support them. Anyway, possible. Here we go. We've got Grenadiers charging in. Austrian Grenadiers are going to be an absolute nightmare, I can imagine, for the French today. I mean, they've already been a nightmare. They've killed so many of these French units. You see, that's broken that French unit. We've seen more infantry going in to deal with the Grenadiers. Whether this will be successful, I don't know. Seems as though it will not, and we're going to see another breaking unit there. More grenadiers breaking. This is not a good sign. So you can see here, NTW has lost his entire core on this side. Well, this entire part of his core here. We've got a few little units over here. Trying to scare off the Austrians. Trying to do what they can. Still hold this building. Some sappers in there. Maybe I just try and get to that building. I think that's where Van Damme's maybe trying to go. Try and get into that building. I'm not sure really how much of an effect he's going to have there. But honestly, I get these two units back. Just get both these line infantry. Get them back safe around the building, and then hope that the Austrians come to you. Looks as though the French have one over here, though. This is looking very good. This is really, really helpful. I mean, the French have got 8 or so units here. No, maybe more than that. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 10 units. At least 10 units that they can send now over here. And Austria, I don't know if he has the numbers, but it's going to be very close. I mean, the howitzers obviously will be massive for the Austrians. They've got grenadiers, which has been a problem for the French all day. Seems as though those grenadiers just have the beating of the French infantry. And that's the thing. These French infantry over here, it may be 10 new units, but they're 10 battered units. They've been fighting all day long against the Austrians. They've come out. They're going to come out with low numbers, and they've got to face not fresh, but relatively healthy units here. Some of them. So those grenadiers look like they were pretty healthy, wherever they are, down here. But we'll fast forward a little bit and we'll just see what goes on, because it does seem as though the battle is dying down a little bit. But yeah, I'm really surprised we haven't just seen like maybe Van Damme or something just try and rush for this gun. I mean, his army's gone. Just maybe do one little thing and just try and rush that gun. Try and get it unoperational so an infantry unit can then come in and support. That may be what I do. Maybe just to try and sacrifice, or maybe they just want to keep the general alive to try and just support with his like morale boosting abilities and stuff like that. I don't know. Or maybe they just don't want to lose another unit. Also, maybe Van Damme's like, you know what, I want to stay in the game, and as much as possible, I'm just gonna hold on to this one unit. I don't know where this artillery's aiming now, but there isn't really anything over there. It isn't. I mean, the Austrian infantry. Oh, we've got a French infantry unit all the way back here. NTW, we've got a line infantry unit just out of nowhere appeared. That's just helped rout. Did that just rout a general? I mean, there are a couple of generals routing back here. It's being chased in hot pursuit by, looks like, just a little German infantry unit, but still. It's a little distraction. Drags away another unit for the Austrians, as the as you can see over there, the French are arriving. In the background, they're there, doing their bit. But we'll go back to fast forward. Seems as though the Austrians are reforming, maybe trying to combine what remains of their forces before going in.
We have taken a building, sir.
Some sappers here. Where have they taken this building then? Oh, they've got the line infantry in this building here. Not a bad idea. As you can see, the Austrians actually on the way. They've actually sending more and more infantry. Got some grenadiers on the way. They desperately have to. I guess they really have to take back this building. It is kind of part of the whole objective, taking the crossing building, or like taking Eckmühl itself. So if the French hold that could be huge. Here we go. Grenadiers going in, fighting for units outside, and go into the building, I guess. This is always a cheeky way to do it. Always shoot the... I would have just fired the men that were just outside. It's thrilling stuff watching the bayonet fighting. Grenadiers fighting on... Come on, who's going to win, do you think? Grenadier or the line infantry? Here. Oh, poor Francois. He died. Oh, at least I got one back. We'll name that guy Carl. Why am I naming dead men? I don't know. Yeah, Austria actually coming over here with a decent amount of troops. Desperately trying to retake this building. There's just fire on it with all these infantry units. Just fire on it and try and break the French that way. But as you can see here, the French now arriving in these towns, these villages. I mean, fought over so much. Oh, the Austrians are still in here. Can't see them, but they are still in there. They just routed this French unit here. This little line infantry unit. Got some line infantry set up there. I feel like the artillery might need to put some more rounds into this building. 68%. Put some more rounds and try and just collapse the building on the Austrians that are in there. But there we go. We've got line infantry. They managed to make their way in. Yeah, some grenadiers in there. And they've broken almost instantly. I think these line infantry. Yep, routing. just keep shelling this building. Honestly, it's the best thing they can do. Or just use this light infantry and just focus down the grenadiers. I would have thought that would also be a pretty effective way. Don't want to charge into a building filled with grenadiers, to be honest. Not a healthy thing to do, but here we go. Looks like France has been kicked out of this building, maybe. I don't know, maybe. His morale's not looking great, but... yeah, it's fluctuating all over the place. It's a shame that these guys just stand here on the building. Like, you should really be getting into the fight, guys. Like, your men are dying down here. Who knows? The grenadiers, though, I imagine will take that building. Sending in more units to try and take this building. Losing a lot of troops here. Throwing away all of his troops that just won a fight over on the far side. And they're just getting broken now by one grenadier unit. There you go. We got the capture of this building here from the Austrian grenadiers. That's a bad sign for the French. It's just another building got to go and storm. Honestly, they just need to try and flank around, try and take out these howitzers. It's not the end of the world, but just take them out. They're just annoying. Annoying for the French. And yeah, look at this. The French just like wasted all of their troops that just arrived on one farmhouse. These guys just like, yep, screw it. We're just going to just charge in. And we're going to fast forward. And we're going to see how this one ends. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be an out-and-out winner. I don't think either side's going to just try and win it now. I think they're just going to try and survive. I feel like both sides just don't want to throw away all their troops so that they're losing. But honestly, it's hard to say. I think the Austrians win from what I'm aware, because they still hold the Eckmühl crossing over here, which is is the objective. But also the French do hold this village back here. I don't know if this is really an important village though, of Oberleichling, and they got Unterleichling. I mean, the Austrians hold one and the French hold the other. So hard to say who really wins from this one. But yeah, the French ignoring that burning building now. Really, like I said, the 12 pounders need to keep shelling that building and just putting as many rounds into it. Just let it collapse. Looks like the French now are going over here and they're going to just try and deal with the Austrians. I feel like this is the main objective. So you can see the French dashing over here to try and take this, rather than deal with the grenadiers in the other building. So this obviously is the main objective for the French. If they can take this, then I guess they win the day. I mean, you've got some low morale troops back here, these German grenadiers. Not looking great. Got some Grenzers here. They've been fighting on. Did not realize the Austrians brought some of them. We've got the grenadiers obviously in the building waiting. That's gonna be a rough fight for the French. They need to just kind of pound this this building in this position with just musket fire. Just put as many musket volleys into this this position as possible. It's the best thing to do, I think. Morale is not looking great for the Austrians. I mean, French morale I can't imagine could be great either. I mean, units are pretty small. But yeah, it's been a brutal fight. Look at the bodies in this fight here. I mean, just ridiculous the amount of men that have been lost. On this hill especially, look at this. So many Wittenberg, Austrian troops lost. The guns abandoned here. Napoleon Total War 3 always makes a picturesque look to it. We're just a random infantry guy that just chilled there. He's like, yep, don't mind us. Just gonna stand here. I feel like these guns need to get moving. I mean, I don't know if they're still firing or what. Don't think guns and I don't think artillery does run out of ammo in NTW 3, so kind of surprised. Got a line infantry here that's actually just sneaking around for the Austrians. Seems like the French try to come in at an angle, trying to avoid as much of this musket fire from the building as possible. But we'll keep fast forwarding as we wait, we patiently wait, and it seems as though, I mean, this unit here is the 93rd line. It doesn't actually have a flag above it. I don't know what's happened there. But yeah, look at the morale, all on red, while the French are all on green. But their units are really small. Really, really small. I mean, I can't imagine it take many volleys to break these guys. Like the 108th line infantry here, 26 men. Down from 100. They're putting a few volleys in. Broken that unit. Grenz is gone. There's line infantry in retreat. Can't imagine the morale's being held actually by the Austrians firing from every direction in that building. There you go. Line infantry broken there. It's one less for the Austrians to worry about. Come on, put a volley into these Austrians. Break them. And the Austrians probably have a perfect view from that little wall they have up there. So these guys can just fire down. They got perfect targets on those French down there.
Our men are running, sir.
Another building lost? Oh, they lost this building over here. To more Austrian grenadiers. Oh, jeez, this is not good at all. I think the Austrians might win this one, you know. I think they might. The French are really struggling now. It's been incredibly close. French have gone in here. They're sitting in the 9th Line Infantry unit here. The Deux Beasters. They're going in. This is the tiny little unit. There's another 93rd Line Infantry here. You can see that Davout here. He's trying to stay alive, but
unit is dead, sir.
he's run out of troops on his right flank. You can see more troops trying to move around. Yeah, a lot of the 93rd line still alive. They're breaking. That's not a good sign. Yeah, it looks as though the French are going to lose this one. I can't see how they're going to win it. I think we're going to see a change in history. The Deux Beasters coming forward. Les Deux Beasters. I mean, they're just getting shot from like the front and the side. They can't deal with it. And there you go. It looks as though they're charging in there one last time. Line going in, going to try and break the Grenadiers. Just futile. And there you go. We've got Marshal Davout going in as well, being routed. And that is his army gone as well. And that is the Battle of Eckmühl. Basically, all that's left of the French is 12 pounders has been left here to suffer and wait. Looks like it's just gonna try and shell this building to pieces, which is not a bad idea, I guess. But there isn't much you can do now, and the French have been defeated. I'm really surprised. Honestly, big mistakes early on for the French. Were massive bayonet charges over here, which just cost them so many units. The Austrians surrounded them, routed them with their grenadiers. They also sent in the cavalry. If they didn't blob up, it would have meant that they could have formed square, and the cavalry would have been repulsed, and the grenadiers then wouldn't have charged in. And that was a big mistake I felt for the French. That was what kind of cost them. They lost an army pretty early on for that. Maybe Barden could have been a little bit more aggressive instead of just getting canistered. But yeah, it was certainly a tough one, certainly for the French. And the Austrians had all the really good positions, I felt. They had really good hills up here, which they could put their artillery. Their infantry was ready as well, in nice formations to stand there and prepare. But yeah, it's been a pretty good fight, and we're just going to see the last few seconds die down now as the Austrians just gun down these poor French. They run back to their own lines. And Napoleon has been defeated at the Battle of Eckmühl, it would seem. And we see a change in history. It says a draw, but I will give this to the Austrians. They've done a really good job, and they've come out with more troops alive still. And they hold all the objectives, I believe. So yeah, well done to Tolstoy, to Apollo, to Stoner, and to Holy Tyrant. All did a really good job as the Austrians. Unlucky to Sniper Smith, to Johnny Le Buffoon, Don, and Zeus, who are playing as the other French players. Zeus here playing as one of the Lands armies, only getting 900 kills. Jeez, bringing over 3,000 men as well. Jeez, he had such a huge army as well. My gosh, actually Don doing very good with Van Damme, nearly getting as many kills as he's brought troops. 1,200, actually getting more kills than Johnny Le Buffoon, who's playing as the one of the Davout armies, and Sniper doing really well as the final Davout army, but just not having enough at the end to clinch victory. But well done to Tolstoy, who got over 2,700 kills as Austria. Really well done. That's probably the best I've ever seen them do. Apollo getting 900 kills as one of the other Austrian armies. Stoner here playing as Rosenberg, getting nearly 1,200 kills, and Holy Titan getting 1,100 kills. So well done to all of the players that took part. This is from Johnny Le Buffoon's perspective, I believe. We've got the Line Infantry here, 210 kills for this Deux Beasters unit, I believe. So well done to them. Artillery, 12 pounders getting 175 kills. Yeah, some really good kills here. I mean, the Deux Beasters getting 123, 173 for this 108 Line Infantry unit. But yeah, some pretty decent kills there. There you go. If you want to have a look at them, you can do so. But there you go, guys. That is the Battle of Eckmühl. We've seen history change, and I hope you guys did enjoy. Do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. And I'll see you in the next one.